July 10, 9:49 a.m. Today's day all goes down. Then there was yesterday. Means over. Sorry. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy, believe. I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Here's hard behind the scene. Alarm Grammary, explained as he walked through the door, normally. Unwincing. A preposterous proposition. How could I stand up on the stand? Like I did all those years ago. Why, my secrets will be free for the plucking. Might even have to sign autographs. And that is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning. A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, you need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. You just seemed happy about that illusion thing. You can't pull off the show without one. Zipping a bit. So you were talking about what we saw at the concert. I'm prosecuting Gavin's exploding guitar. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Ah, excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. And something happened? This is first. That's by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great, Bay stayed up too late last night watching important dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. Hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. The Chief Justice's son? You care to read about it yourself? Trying to work out if that was still Gavel or if it was I'm curious, where have I heard that before? Why not lose the page with the funnies if you can? Ahem, my apologies for the delay. Quarters down session for the trial. How do you say his name again? Maki Tabai, I suspect for TC. Right, this is trial in any case. Defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor? No, well, yes, it's just that I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. Made me to see him going through such a difficult time. Alright, Gavel was never the Chief Justice. Wasn't winner because he was expelled. Because he was kicked out the day, short time before the trial, which cost Nick his career. So it's not winner. Must be nice. Must be Gavel's successor. Because, if I recall, yeah, Edgeworth became chief prosecutor not long after the events of Investigations 2, because it was him who came up with the plan for the juris system. Indeed, we left off at quite the juncture yesterday. I asked the programming number, IPXX31400206. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help. No problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. And that's probably what compelled him to try and... Who would have thought Darian would get star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darian Christian is a member of my band, the Governors. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after the investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is, weren't you aware, her forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. In the second, our guests took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamour, and Maki, along with a drummer and bassist for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamour and the defendant, Maki Tabai, had left the stage at that point, and the Governors were already rocking. This is where 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Sky. I sure did. Furthermore, Lamour herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime, when she claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crescent talking. But that's impossible! Detective Crescent was... Precisely, Detective Crescent was on stage getting his groove on this. Voila! A perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Yeah, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darian Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged, which means that Lamour was sadly mistaken. The testimony cannot be true. If her testimony wasn't true, can't explain how she ended up getting walloped. Very well, of course, if we disregard her testimony. I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict, if indeed no one objections. Let's give Gavin's case as airtight. Lamour might have been lying to protect Maki. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, how about yesterday in the detention center? Like he was trying to tell us something, I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant. Objection! Your Honor. No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquis or Mr. Justice. Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you want to hear from? A witness who until now has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Maki Tabai to the stand. What? But he doesn't speak English. But use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as... The defense would like to request Lamois as the interpreter. But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. Would she be interpreting for the defendant? Or would she lie? This is most unusual. Bravo. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamois lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamois to the witness stand. I suppose there is a first time question. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with. If you would, Lamois. Yes. He says Makitabai, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really need an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. If I would what? Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about? How can I even know what he's saying? Excuse me, a moment if I may speak. Yes, Lamois? Just now, Marquis said knows something about which he wishes to testify. Marquis wants to testify about something. What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. Suspense is killing me. What? Well, Lamois? According to Marquis, he has proof of his innocence. What? This is This is something too good to believe. I don't know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Marquis, please testify to the court. Very well. He says that word of Mr. Latour's death came as a great shock. What if the killing truly followed the leaves of my son? I, that is he, could not have done it. I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following so closely. I wondered what he meant by it. Why, you would only have to ask Lamois to know the meaning of that song. Did you ever explain the lyrics to that song? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. As my oft repeated warning already fled that forehead, Lamois might be protecting the weakness. Well, anyway, let us proceed with cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would. Yes, Your Honor. I'm hidden in that testimony, I know it. Yes, after we travelled around the world on Cocoon. Lamois, this is Marquis' not yours. This is a court of law. We'll play by the book. Maybe it's difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics. It's not actually the guitar that's in that. No, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation. Okay. It's much easier than trying to understand these English lyrics. I believe he is too, Trucy. Something's hidden in that testament. Is it true if I find it? The guitar is Serenade, correct? Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. The theft of the cleaning, the burning guitar, and the bullet. Hold it! I could not have done it, you mean? It's very simple. Marky could not have done all the things that happened that day. All those things followed the song lyrics closely. Ah, the eye twitch. Here again. He says that because lyrics. Gotcha! Marky, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced towards her the very moment Lamoire said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that, he understands me. Marky, tell the truth, you can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course you can't. Must you continue to shake? Yeah? What? Give me a break! Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol? Well, yeah, but... Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? He seemed... Read about in the newspaper, eh? Bingo! Doesn't mention lyrics. Newspaper? They have here a Virginian newspaper. The Virginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there is a feature article about this case. Could you read this for me, Marky? That's right, doesn't mention lyrics. Sorry, Marky. You could have read about lyrics in a Virginian newspaper. What does this mean? But I don't see how it's possible. I know. You must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the whole report myself. The lyrics were in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain herself. Himself. Marky says, Yes? It is true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. I remember. You remember? He says he heard the lyrics from me. What? Is this true, Lamois? Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. Then it looks like her forehead's been jumping to conclusions. Seems so, yes. No! I know something, I know it. Don't let this chance slip. Time is an issue today, Mr. Justice. Are you finished with your cross-examination? I'm going to keep on cross-examining. I better have an angle of attack. Or else... my bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well, witness. Allegro. No more. Currently cross-examining Maki. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swore at the very moment you told the court it was I who explained. What? Are you indeed protecting someone? Allow me to answer for you. Don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Maki, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you. You've lied to us twice, and now you have Lamois lying on your behalf. This is gonna work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. If you understand English, you have to. Witness, is this true? Do you understand English? Very limited. Yes, a little only. What? First he could see, now he could talk. And you did not know about this, Lamois? How many secrets is this witness hiding? This is last. Maki, could you tell us what really happened? No shooting. I did no shooting. So you went into the dressing room and I heard those two gunshots, correct? Apparently the answer to that question isn't simply either. I was in the dressing room behind desk, manager, heat on floor. It should be after the shooting, right? Then there was voice. So when Marky went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had been shot. And then we came to the door. Battle high up, I took off. Run away, run away. So it was you who escaped through that air vent. As the prosecution was upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as confession? No, he's clearly denied that he did it. I'm not shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. Objection! The victim had already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter. Does the defendant have anything to say to this? Calm down, Colin. And let's ask Mr. Justice, will you require any further testimony from the witness? Is there nothing else we can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is. Now, Cocoon has something to do with it. Marky, please tell us the truth for your sake. No more speak, not to any of you. So much for your precious trust at her forehead. Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. It would seem that the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. So you know, of course, but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed. Apollo Eustace. That's justice. Better not to say if you ever want to get some. Believe, I know shooting. Marky claims Mr. Latouche saw you down on the ground when he entered the room. So suddenly, I hear a revolver. Close, very close. And I hear a voice. You heard gunshots? Yes, it's true. I hear a revolver, but only sound. Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latouche already dead, and then you heard shots? That's true. I know. I know if I open them, I can leave stage and backstage. The events went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means? Yeah. How do you know it's connected like that? I hear these from Magician. Magician? Magician, huh? Yeah, but what does that leave us with? You're supposed to say you went into the room to find the body and then you heard the shots? No one's gonna go over well in court. Not. I'll just pretend you misheard him every time. So what do we do? No talking, no. That Cocoon! That Cocoon! I can't go home. I can't go home to Virginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a Cocoon from Virginia is death. Of course, I'm scared. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach. Marky won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify. I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. Very well. So will he testify? Your Honor, the defendant will not testify. What? Shame. Yeah, I thought this was going to be your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor. A different angle? Lucky won't testify, but I know he will. I'd like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamois.
Objection!
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lamois' testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can... Lamois was taken to hospital yesterday with injuries. What happened? She was assaulted, Your Honor. Assaulted? Someone wanted Lamois dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself. What? I've heard no such report. What's here, Gavin? Why would anyone be able to kill Lamois? Can you think of a reason? Well, think of how she's known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yes, someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been? You don't think... I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out. So am I to understand that this is what you're saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lamois' testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover? Exactly. Lamois was attacked. This has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamois' testimony once more. Lamois, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Marty is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window. And that the voice belonged to Darian Crescent, yes? That is correct. At which point I proved she couldn't have heard any of those. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof. You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice? I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there. There is, it seems, much you don't know. And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to court. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped, and I heard another gunshot. There was the sound of gunpowder. I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window. Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony. I am sorry. I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible. Do I have to repeat myself? Lamois was attacked because of this testimony. What? Juicy? Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Dude. On the way from the stage to the back. Stage exit.
Hold it!
I know I said hold it. She's saying the same thing she said before. Mr. Justice, sorry, it's nothing. Please continue your testimony. The one in red over there is a shame. You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar.
Hold it!
If it were me, I would have gone to the police right away. It's our duty as citizens. This may be beside the point, but Lamwa isn't a citizen. No one would hope such common sense prevails in Virginia as well. That's strange. Could she be hiding something?
Hold it!
You in a hurry to go where? Why are you in such a hurry then? You very well might. Please don't
Objection!
protect. Are you alright, Lamwa? Recall what I told you yesterday. Lamwa suffers from a serious amnesia. Please refrain from traumatizing her further. What, so you can just dismiss questions he thinks are too traumatizing? Why don't you prove her reason had a connection to the case before asking about it, yeah? The prosecution's objection is sustained. The current question is moot, Mr. Justice. Please continue the cross-examination.
Hold it!
I did not know his name at the time, but yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There is no way you could have heard. Because the window at the scene was closed? Is that why? Apollo, if you keep asking the same questions as yesterday, you won't get anywhere. What were they talking about? Did you hear anything else? That's quite the vague request. Nothing new there. Huh? There's nothing for no more than that. Perhaps we should just carry on with the cross-examination. Lamwa, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? So please tell us. I have given you too much reflection, but I was afraid of this. I didn't remember. I only heard one phrase correctly. You remember something that was said? What did you say even yesterday? Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said. This could be it, the clue I've been waiting for. Well, then what did he say? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Lotus. The shooter then. Dying crescent. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch now. Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Lotus? I thought it quite strange myself afterward. 'Tis a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this? I mean, sure, I'd be delighted. It's very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony? Press a switch.
Objection!
Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh, yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch. Save the lights. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene, but it just happens I have a switch right here. That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? The problem is, this was found not at the scene of crime, but on the stage. The stage? Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there. On this stage. You claiming that the voice Lamwa heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch? A possibility.
Objection!
Oh, her forehead. I'd call that an image. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lamoire's dressing room. Not to mention that the governors were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard. So to have her forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me? You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage. That was troubling. We were talking about this and then I just felt burning. It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room.
Take that!
What's here, Gavin? Perhaps you're familiar with this? Why that's... What? Where is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking? This is a type of transmitter. Communications device? What I heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, they were talking between band members. We all had one on them. So you'd mean that if you were wearing one of these, walking from the backstage to the stage would be simple. True, but wait, they'll send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert form. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. The direct distance is less than 30 feet. So when Lamoire heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Objection!
You're claiming this is the switch in question. Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact. Well, guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid not until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it. Sure this is the way to go with this. What is this switch, anyway? We don't even know that basic fact. Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. If you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case. We know about this switch, right? We know what it is. Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice, we have no further information to share concerning this switch. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Justice, I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is. Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to a case. Let's see your evidence of link. What evidence do you have to explain what the switch is? Igniter.
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this? That's not... That what? Is it another of those newfangled phones? This is an igniter. What phone looks like this? Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter? Yes, actually. You aren't saying these switches are remote. I am. There's a remote trigger for an igniter. What? Look, I'll show you. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom. Sorry, there's a bit more fire than I expected. My whisk is a corn fire. Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. The switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you? You're talking about what happened to me. Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught fire in the middle of your performance. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Her forehead. Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamoire, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire. I am. Pretty simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on the stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire. Well, that does seem to make sense. There's something about it that's bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Really? Seems pretty simple to me. Her forehead. Don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. Guess I was wrong. What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin? This simple story simply makes no sense. I think that night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been nice indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second step. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third step. The two are utterly unrelated. Yes, that must be... See? Oh wait. Sorry about that, Your Honor. I was just doing my best imitation of you. See, his story makes no sense. Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch as helpful. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this, specifically? I'm glad you asked. I think that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act. What's these? But Detective Emma Sky heard shots on the body. All of these happened in the third act. Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Marky was in the dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. Even though you had gone pretty much a long time ago. Maybe the victim had already been shot. No one had gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane. Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. Next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames. We know that remote triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we come to only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What? Order! 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 But that goes against the evidence! What does, Your Honor? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics on that song, yes? You're thinking about it the wrong way. Look, why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's not a lot of trouble to go through. With little merit for the person doing it. But I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. The reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics. You're saying the order was reversed on purpose. Reversed, Prosecutor Gavin? If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet her forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after but just before the fire. Gonna put it back myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. And that was the criminal's objective. The crime followed lyrics to a point, but that was reached. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? I That was the final touch to make us think he'd followed lyrics the whole way.
Order! 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 That will explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you your little fairy tale. Oh, it sounds good. I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic, for it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction. One I pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lamoire have heard a voice through it? Oh, I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact. You're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise. Right. Lamoire's testimony is an entire case. What voice you heard? Shira's voice. What if she couldn't hear it before? Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch. And near the crime scene we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. Last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's playing guitar. That'll be coincidence, but that'll make it work. Let's see a more direct line of questions. When the crime scene was investigated, immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamoire heard the voice?
A key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice, you've got one thing to prove and one thing only. Lamoire heard a voice. He heard it during the second set. Think, how was Lamoire able to hear a voice? She was someone else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it had it been open either. Meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window. Ah, it is good to hear you making sense again. For a moment I was afraid you might be a Virginian too. As I was saying, Lamoire could not hear the voice through the window. So there can be only one explanation. He heard the voice from another location entirely.
What's this?
You do amuse yourself. And here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, therefore? Lamoire clearly stated she heard the voice without the small window. And there was only one small window in the scene. Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene?
Ah, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Lamoire heard the voice from another location.
Hold on, I'm going to have to think about it. Lamoire heard the voice from here. The vent.
Take that!
This is where Lamoire heard that voice from.
Well, that's no small window. That's the air vent.
What did she those? She said she's a Virginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's no stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window. Now you've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lamoire was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice. That's only a logical explanation, yes? Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means. Okay, what about it illogical? Hardly merits saying. Why would Lamoire be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamoire? You've been listening to our discussion here, yes? The problem here is words. Lamoire, the small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on the wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
Order! Order! We'll have order! Witness, you will clarify the statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact I was. I'm sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yeah, well, why the heck were you up there?
I believe it's time for another testimony. May I remind you, this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed a crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please.
Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Bound to secrecy. That's a key word now.
Bound to secrecy?
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, forehead? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
Gonna find out the truth. She's up above now at the ceiling for a reason. Just have to get out of her.
Hold it!
Above the ceiling? Could you be more specific? Because you're bound to secrecy? Doesn't sound like I'll be able to coax out of her just by asking.
Hold it!
Your event grade could trip you up, certainly.
Marian's voice. There's lightly scorched, and then there's this. Yep, it's pretty much a useless piece of junk. Each part, the burnt clean through, and a useless piece of junk. This switch sure is an igniter. You're scaring me. I haven't heard you talking like that to the rescue. I said she'd the rescue, not me. And she's not some kind of mad scientist. One of these little parts is pretty complex. Guessing this is where the fire comes out. Other than that. Not really a saying you wanna go around repeating, Trucy. Madison silence. No answer. Don't be silly.
because of lettuce.
Hold it!
Valand Grammary. What? What? Valand Grammary? Who's Valand Grammary? I know it should have been familiar, but since we had a run-in with him about 9 years ago. Eight months. Interesting reaction, Prosecutor Gavin. Lamwa was bound to secrecy, so it takes some hard-hitting proof to make her talk. I don't know why she was up there, but I don't prove it.
Objection!
Nuh-uh. That's I hate using story mode. Yes, it's all right here on this video. As we can see, Lamwa was clearly on stage for her whole performance. Her suddenly seems to be so realistic. Lamwa is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So your explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the forum. But I'm a lawyer, not supposed to be nice. This is all very fascinating. How is it possible? There is only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage through the backstage to the rear of the forum. Ah! Recall Lamwa's testimony from yesterday. She went from the stage to the backstage exit. Perfect description of this route above the ceiling. No one knew of this because of her part in the illusion, but she wasn't the only one who knew. Just now in the lobby, Maki told me something. He said that. Oh, were you not informed of what's going? I know about the magician. Yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me? Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the member of a magician's life, you know. Which is why you bound Lamois to secrecy. Well, Lamois?
So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route for the ceiling? Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused.
Where's that, Your Honor?
As I said before, there was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
No, that's a good question.
Can the witness explain this to court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice. It's all up to you. Do your thing. You need to explain how Lamois was able to teleport like she did. I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
I don't get picked on. It's Lamois who isn't going along with the program here.
And you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it'll be your job to bring the truth out of her.
Right. I feel like a student before finals.
Hmm, 2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
But it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
As is my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
All I have to do is find a contradiction between what Lamois is saying and what we can see plainly in the video. Well, tell me. Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here. You arrived behind the farm much too fast to be walking. Tell the truth, Lamois. You are some kind of vehicle.
What? A vehicle? What vehicle?
What a novel idea. I like it. Yes. My father dumb attorney. I don't mind. It wasn't a vehicle, what was it?
You had me going for a while now, Mr. Justice. Too bad. Ready for the next part?
I don't feel like I'm some kind of quiz show.
Hold it!
Did everyone on the concert staff know about the trick? So, not many people knew about the trick.
What were these stagehands required to do?
One needed to open the emergency exit. The door to the stairs is locked for constable.
Objection!
Nope.
Oh, brother! This guy stinks! minutes. That kind of dark terrible to see. That's true, but...
So you're saying that on the night of the concert you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Mayhaps.
Take that!
As much as I hate using meter, I pretty much botched this anyway, so...
Aha, the roach! We saw that yesterday, did we not?
And you're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped. So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Ah yes, back when there were facade models.
What? The brooch, it's gone!
Yes. The brooch disappeared in a short span of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can be only one explanation. The Lamois we see before the vanishing act and the Lamois we see after are two different people.
What?
The brooch was found on the floor of the crime scene. Not just on the crime scene, not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lamois, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? The very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I do.
Order! Prosecutor Gavin!
From your expression, I gather you have no idea this was the case. I, of course, know about it.
What?
Don't get me wrong, I was lying. It just never occurred to me. That the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. No, just before the stage's tower rose, Lamois was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lamois?
By the man behind the illusion, Alarm Ground.
Was Grammy?
That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one. The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. But this fake Lamois is still singing. It's pretty good.
That's true.
The governor's onto some kind of air guitar band, Fräulein. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lamois?
Yes, do tell and add it to your testimony.
Hold it!
You were singing? Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage? But if you were singing while you were walking... That is right. Are you sure? It'd have to be pretty hard of hearing and miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime. What state? That is right. That dressing room was fitted to a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. My request. Ingenious! Her voice was hidden by her voice. What? I just remembered something. Do tell? When I heard the noise, the gunshots here, it just startled me, so I stopped singing. I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. The song stopped? Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice. Forehead, that mixing for like lent you. Where is it? The mixing, huh? Oh, yes, I completely forgot about it. Pleasure, bro. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during the first set. It happened during the second, during Lamoire's ballad. That is true. And no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. Which means that Diane Crescent could have done it. He was on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned down quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains. Her forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic. Yet it is entirely based upon Lamoire's testimony. Yes, the problem is... Well, it's quite simple, but it pains me to see. What if she is lying to protect the defendant? But you have no proof. All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself. Yes, though he's a friend and a fan member, Diane Crescent was take the stand. Let's see no other way. As someone with a new perspective on the case, as a suspect. Finally, the rat's coming out of the hole. I'm ready to catch him. Diane Crescent, get ready for justice.
This is good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. Prosecution must summon the witness. I'm here and ready to be by the time you begin. I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.